25 drivers, 16 nationalities, 3 champions, 1 champ. Road to Indy TV.
So folks, waiting here down on pit lane. We're getting set to go here right now. The Cooper Tire guest, getting ready to join me down here on pit lane. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get the call. And to give us the command, Miss Ada Chen.
Thank you. Okay. On behalf of everyone at Cooper Tires, drivers, start your engines!
Yeah, there you go, folks. Engines starting down here on pit lane. Everybody getting set to go. Macaray and Rasmussen, your front row starters. I'll send it back up to John Phippen, and we'll join him as quickly as I can.
Rob Howden, thank you so very much. As we are getting ready to send these drivers on their pace lap, unlike the Indy Lights race, there will be a single pace lap, and they will take the start here at the start-finish line just below us. As we are making ready for the pace lap behind the pace car. Cameron Shields will be joining us in the booth here once again, as Rob Howden will be sprinting up from down trackside. As Cameron Shields already in the booth here with me. Cameron, welcome back. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to this race very much. I'm sad that you're not in it, but nonetheless, you could bring some insider insight into what to expect from these drivers, as Hunter McElroy will start on the pole alongside Christian Rasmussen. I've been able to see Christian race in the F4 championship. Yuvan Sundaramuthi has also had a couple starts with us in that championship. Bruna Tomaselli in the 4th spot, her teammate Colin Kaminsky in 5th, as Pabst Racing really getting the job done here this weekend. Matt Round Garrido in the 6th position. Suleiman in the number 12 car will start in the 7th spot. Manuel out of Mexico City. Jack Crawford, Braden Eves, the points leader, deep in the field. And again, Braden from Gahanna, Ohio, a suburb of Columbus. Uncharacteristically further back in the field. He has 3 poles already this season to go along with 5 wins. He has a 39-point advantage over Hunter McElroy, who has shrunk that advantage by notching the pole in both races here this weekend. So we'll see if Braden Eves can recover for a good finish here in this first race of the weekend for the Cooper Tires US F2000 Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. Let's follow the field around as they're going to get the start the first time by. Rusty, they're already by you, but Brian, looks like the field should be up in the top of the S's.
Field is making their way through the S's right now. Everybody trying to get some heat in the tires. We're going to be going green here in just a moment.
Tom Michaels headed to you.
Absolutely, as they come through turn number 9, the front of the field. They'll start to line up as they go up into the carousel turn. Right now, still very strung out as they make their way through Thunder Valley.
Beginning to form up 2 by 2 as the pace car already accelerating away from the field. A breathless Rob Howden has joined us here in the booth. I shouldn't say breathless, you're in great shape, Rob.
The steps don't get any easier, John. You seem taller every time I come back.
Yep.
Drivers lining up, as you says, Hunter McElroy and Christian Rasmussen. I spoke with Hunter before the race. He wants to get out cleanly here, do what he did at Road America, and that was get a great jump and then just absolutely pull away from the field. This track very challenging, though. They'll work their way out of the final corner here. McElroy on the inside, Rasmussen on the inside. They get to the punch-off zone, and we're at it. Green, green, green.
Bruna Tomaselli jumped out trying to make a pass there. She's going to challenge for 2nd spot.
Rasmussen ducked to the inside as well. He tried to get a good run through there. They'll come through turn number 1 for the first time. They'll make that run up to the keyhole here. And here they come, working their way up to this very tough corner, the right-hand downhill corner. They'll go 3 wide further on back. Who's going to take the lead to the inside? Rasmussen gets the first run down in. One driver, that's Reese Gold. No, that's Nolan Siegel up over top of the curbing on the inside. Siegel's lost his front wing. Another driver dropping a wheel. Rusty, right in front of you.
Down the straightaway, it is that number 6 of Rasmussen at the front, the 22 car, driving down to the inside of the track, trying to hold off the big field behind. Yeah, trying to take that inside line. They're still side by side as they make their way around the S's into turn number 6. Several cars lock up their brakes. We got one car coming off the track. I'll get a number, got a lot of dust. Tom Michaels coming at you. No changes for the top 2.
But watch them as they come through turn number 8. Now 9. Our leader, the car number 6, Rasmussen, has a good distance over the second and third battle right now.
Yeah, being her potential trouble for Timmy Paglioso, the number 77. I think he may be off in China Beach. I thought I saw a big puff there down in that part of the corner.
He is. He's off here and buried. We're going to have to get a tow. We're going to go full course yellow, guys.
Not what we wanted to see on the opening lap. Actually, you know who this is going to play really well to is your teammate Cameron Shields, who joins us here as an analyst. Nolan Siegel. He's going to come into pit lane, I would expect. Nose damage. He got onto the inside of the track going up to the keyhole and actually had to climb up over top of the curbing area so you can see the wing askew as he comes down pit lane. But again, let's have a look at the work they're doing here with Timmy Paglioso. Tough one for Timmy, just overcorrecting coming into, I believe, turn number 4 down there. You've seen that a lot, John Phippen. It's not the hardest thing to do, especially for a rookie driver. First start here on the road to Indy, likely just getting in too hot into 4.
Exactly right, and you know, you're side by side in that very heavy braking zone on the first lap, and the adrenaline's pumping, and it's certainly not a hard thing to get a little too exuberant, to leave the braking a little bit too late. But we can already see they've got the lift on the way. They'll pick that car up and literally carry it onto the racetrack. Brian Culbertson, you've got a good view of the recovery. It's right there in front of you.
Yeah, quick work already. Both of the safety vehicles out there, and like you said, John, they're going to put a lift on it, carry it out, stick it on the truck. They may do a flat tow here. They're setting up for a flat tow. They should have no issue pulling it out. The problem is that the pace car is going to have to get by with the field before they can pull out onto the track. So that's what they're going to do, and they brought the lift out just in case they can't pull it out. So field making its way by. Gives everybody a chance to take a deep breath, make sure the belts are tight. We should get a restart, not on this lap, but the one following.
The Newman Walks Racing team able to get a new wing on the car of Nolan Siegel. Again, just a little aggressive going into turn number 2, the carousel, rather the keyhole, got to the inside of the track. There's a lot more room there because it's the new kind of, when you come out of that corner that they've done for the American Rallycross program, and he kind of got up over the curb there. Now, let's go to Cameron Shields. You're our resident expert here. You were a rookie one time, and it was St. Petersburg, not a real good place to start. What were your thoughts? Of course, Timmy Paglioso having some trouble, but the nerves on your very first road to Indy start, can you remember those?
Yeah, I mean, it's very tough. Of course, you've got to impress everyone. You've got to impress yourself, and most importantly, you've got to finish the race too. So for him, it's just a totally new experience. Obviously, you've been to the corner a numerous amount of times now over this week, but not with 20 other cars around you, not with all the dirty air. Everyone's braking in different lines, moving around, so it's quite daunting. And all of that action happening in front of you can really throw you off guard sometimes.
Seeing Timmy Paglioso actually able to refire once the team got him back out onto the pavement here at Mid-Ohio. He'll roll through 5, 6, and 7. We'll get him back around, and again, trying to get him back to the pit lane, though. They're going to have to do some work cleaning out the radiators on that thing because there's going to be a lot of gravel up in there. But again, Paglioso ideally will be able to get settled in and get some laps here. He'll want to be back on track again tomorrow. And as we said, for Timmy, he will be working the IndyCar race as well as one of the rear tire changes for Takuma Sato's machine. But again, Paglioso just a little bit overcooking it into turn number 4, that opening lap. Field setting back up. It'll be single file, I believe, for the start. And Christian Rasmussen, John, getting a pretty good jump there. He was aggressive off the start, no doubt.
Indeed he was. And the good news for Nolan Siegel is that he's going to be able to catch up to the back of the field, and he did not lose a lap. Paglioso, unfortunately, will be a lap down as the field got by him as he was being recovered from the gravel trap. But Nolan Siegel will be at the tail end of the lead lap, and he'll easily catch them before we go green here in front of us.
I mentioned that the issue with Nolan Siegel actually was because he came to the inside. It really wasn't anything new for the racetrack for the American Rallycross that they put together. That's just the actual keyhole of the keyhole. I've run that before in karting, but it changes your mindset eye-wise when you're trying to make that move to the inside because there's so much pavement to the inside. You don't want to go there, but it's there and you feel like you can. So again, field set. Let's give you a look at how things kind of shook down early here. Rasmussen able to take the lead away from Hunter McElroy. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we go back to green there. Matt Round-Garrido, who started back in 6th, was able to jump up into 3rd. Bruno Tomaselli 4th. Colin Kaminsky in 5th. Even Sundar Amurthy, who started on the outside of the front row, didn't get the best jump. He falls back to 6th. Jack Crawford started 8th. He moves to 7th. Braden Eves started 9th. He goes to the 8th spot as Manuel Suleiman dropped down a couple positions. He'll go to 9th. Darren Keene holding station in 10th. Eduardo Barrichello up a spot to 11th. The rest of these drivers essentially just going up one spot here or there. Holden 12th, Miller 13th, Gold 14th, Bogle in 15th, Siegel 16th, and Pagliuso, as you said, a lap down in the 17th position.
Single file restart coming to our view now as the field in the carousel turn. The pace cars already into the pit lane. Here they come to the acceleration zone, and we're racing once again, as it is Christian Rasmussen at the point in the red, white, and blue colors of the J. Howard Driver Development Team. The rest of the field streaming by our vantage point here through turn number 1. They're coming down toward the keyhole turn. Rusty Bell, they're in your view.
Up into the keyhole turn now, aggressive move there, a big peek out from our second place runner right now, McElray, as he thought about getting there, but not nearly close enough. Rasmussen gets a good start, drives away at the front of the field by a couple of car lengths, but just wanting to be in the mirrors there. But the battle right now is for second. That 27 machine, Gerardo really putting the move on for second.
Goes around high on the outside of turn number 4. Able to get the pass done, just sneaks it in at 5. Both cars, the back end steps out. McElroy going to make a charge for 6, can't get to the inside. That allows the leader, Rasmussen, to able to get away just a little bit, Tom.
Yeah, Rasmussen's got probably 7 car lengths on second place right now. That car being the Raul Garrido car, slipping back into third place, McElroy.
Pretty impressive what's going on here with Matt Round Garrido. Again, the confidence of what he was able to do at Toronto, working his way really a top 5 runner. Some incidents late in the race, and race 2 allowed him to move to P3, but that's the confidence that he needs. He's a veteran of F1600 racing in Europe, very, very close racing in Ireland and England, and he's been running very strongly here with BN Racing. I'll be interested to see here what Christian Rasmussen can do, John. He's a tenth of a second quicker a lap here, maybe a couple tenths of a second quicker. We watch Matt Round Garrido move into second. This is shaken up. This is not the storyline that Hunter McElroy was figuring starting from pole.
Exactly right. I mean, Round Garrido started way back in row number 3. And I mean, he made the jump on the very first lap up into the top 3 and then made short work of Hunter McElroy, the pole sitter. So I'm thinking he's going to be the man to watch here as Rasmussen has the advantage of about a second lead. But Rusty, as they're coming to you, is Round Garrido closing down on him?
It doesn't look like it right now. I think McElroy and Rasmussen out in front there is able to stay there. In fact, it looked like he pulled out a couple more car lengths.
Colin Kaminsky, I believe, able to get by Bruno Tomaselli in that run down to turn number 4. Indeed, Kaminsky making a good run down the inside. So Colin potentially by his teammate Tomaselli. Kaminsky's had a pretty good run through the middle of the season, a couple of pole positions. Was working on a podium at Toronto, but he and Braden Eves getting together. He ended up in the short end of the stick, was actually in the tires. Kaminsky, though, has shown well, and to be honest, we've talked about this, John, all weekend long. The Pabst Racing team, whatever platform they brought, whatever setup, it was good right out of the trailer.
Absolutely, as they had all of their cars at this sharp edge of this field. The Cape Motorsports team, normally so dominant, not only here at Mid-Ohio, but for the series, having a little trouble, kind of been on the back foot here this weekend.
Another fast lap for Christian Rasmussen. Toronto was most definitely the turning point for this driver from Denmark as he leads them coming out of 1 over to turn number 2. Qualified in the front row for both races, finished second in race number 1, ends up winning race number 2, now finds himself back in the lead here after a great qualifying run as well. So Christian Rasmussen starting to pick up that speed, that momentum that you need mid-season. Rusty looks like he's got a pretty solid advantage right now over Matt Round Garrido.
Yeah, he is stretching it out right now. It's probably a 10, maybe a 12 car lengths here this time down the straightaway, but a good battle and a brake lock up there out of Garrido that time as he's trying to hold off Hunter McElroy.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, actually it was McElroy that had the big brake lock up, and now he's in danger of losing third spot. He falls right back. Tomaselli going to make a run at him.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to make that run coming into the Thunder Valley area, taking a little bit of an inside run that time. Not able to make the pass, but that is a great battle there for third.
Yeah, it's Colin Kaminsky, guys, not Bruno Tomaselli. Kaminsky, the number 23, was able to get by a couple of laps ago. Watching Kaminsky's lap times, at least a tenth of a second quicker, so he is on the move right now. And interesting, that's an inter-team battle as well. I don't care if it's Formula One or if it's IndyCar, whatever it is. Cam Shields, you can talk about it. Not only do you want to win a race, but at the very least, you want to be the fastest guy into the 10.
Yeah, exactly right. That's very important because your teammate is usually the best port of reference for everyone viewing it, and more often than not, you're going to be running a very similar setup to your teammate.
Agreed.
Obviously, everyone drives a little bit different, so it's going to be fine-tuned to what you want. at some stage. But I mean, when you're coming to a racetrack, everyone's going to be on the same setup.
Rasmussen leading by 1.6 seconds. Matt Round-Garrido in second. You can see the drivers streaming down the straightaway. All those white cars, that is Cape right there. That is Crawford, Eves, and Keene, the traditional white car with the black accents, the black logos and graphics on the cars. 7th, 8th, and 9th for the Cape Motorsports cars. And John, how many times have you been here, at least for the 10 years of USF 2000? We normally see Cape cars at the front of the field. This is really odd. They're running 7th back to 9th.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm not quite sure what the challenge is for them here at Mid-Ohio this weekend, but it's very uncharacteristic. We normally see them right at the sharp edge of the field. The race isn't over. Let's give it a count. There's still some time to go, but right at the moment, they don't seem to be able to match the pace of the Pabst cars.
And the race isn't over, neither is the weekend. You know how much you can get fixed when you get back. You sit down and look over data. You got to find that one thing. It just seems like they're missing just a little bit right now. You can last couple laps, 23 flat, 23.1 for Keene. These drivers starting to get down to the 22s, but Rasmussen already 22.4, another fast lap. Remember, bonus point up for grabs for fast laps, bonus points for most laps led as well. Already, I believe, 4 laps led for Christian Rasmussen. He comes into the point sitting in 5th. Again, everybody trying to claw back on Braden Eves. When you're down in 8th position, that's opening the door for everybody else.
And Rasmussen coming off the win in the most recent race at Toronto. When I saw him in F4, he was a very streaky driver and success bred success.
Yeah.
If he had a little adversity, sometimes it took him a race or two to kind of get back in the groove. And so Christian Rasmussen on a high right now.
Yeah, interesting insight, John. You've obviously watched him through his early career. Great to have him here in USF 2000, and he really has kind of hit his stride. Kind of came into it a bit at Road America, but Toronto was that breakout race for sure for the young Denmark driver. Again, 1.8 seconds the lead over Matt Round-Garrido. Matt Round-Garrido, very impressive. 3rd, his best run at Toronto as the drivers work their way now into Thunder Valley. But man, he's running on the confidence as well, the momentum with that BN Racing team. And unlike the 4-driver juggernaut or car juggernaut that is Pabst, and 4 cars right now as well with Cape, Matt Round-Garrido's by himself. It's a 10 by 20 easy up tent and a USF 2000 car. So BN Racing by themselves, Matt Round-Garrido looking really good. They'll work their way out at the final corner, streaking their way up through turn number 1. They'll roll under the bridge again. Good run here for Rasmussen. 2.2 seconds now the lead. And I would expect, Rusty Bell, that you're seeing that very quickly. Good battle here for second as well, as I believe McElroy back around to battle it out with Round-Garrido.
Yeah, Garrido's having trouble through turn 1. The car's pushing wide through the middle of the corner, and he's losing a lot of speed. That time I thought we might see a pass there from that 22 of McElroy. In fact, there he goes. Garrido having to drive defensively. Brian, they're coming side by side.
McElroy trying to do the high side, tough pass to get done, doesn't get it done, but looks again to the high side at 5, but tucks in wisely, peeks to the inside, headed for 6. McElroy can't get it done, but he has definitely recovered. He's getting racy. He's trying to get into second.
Meanwhile, Rasmussen is streaking away. The battle for second place. Round-Garrido, car length and a half. That's the advantage over McElroy right now. Everybody else streaming through nose to tail through the Thunder Valley area of the racetrack.
Looks like Manuel Suleiman closing up on the back of Darren Keene, trying to break up that Cape Motorsports juggernaut.
I'm looking a lot at the times because times don't lie. Garrido fell back to a 1:22.7. Not surprising that McElroy closed, but here's the thing. As Garrido's backing it up, McElroy's on the attack, but here comes Colin Kaminsky as well. You can see, guys, he rolled up there to almost a 3-driver battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Those are the final 2 positions on the podium. Christian Rasmussen is saying, hey, I'll take it. Thank you so much. He's walked away to a 3.3-second lead. Matt Round-Garrido stacking everybody else up behind him. And as you said, there it is coming right through turn number 2. That's the blue D-Force car of Manuel Suleiman starting to put some pressure on Darren Keene. That's the 9th and 10th place battle. But Keene trying to get into that draft to see if he can't close up on Braden Eves. Rusty, big lead out front all the way already into turn number 4. But out behind them, we're going to see some racing.
Yeah, again, McElroy goes to the high side, coming in turn number 4, can't get it down, get done. Round-Garrido able to take the inside line and really stacking this whole group up behind him. Your leader's just sneaking away.
Well, Round-Garrido, he's got his mirrors full right now. Puts the right side wheels up on the rumble strip, smoothly down into Thunder Valley. They're all chasing Rasmussen, but a lot of folks chasing Round-Garrido as well. Nobody can get by him at this point.
Yeah, and here's the interesting thing. Hunter McElroy is going to have to start getting aggressive pretty soon because he knows these guys are behind him, but he also knows that he is, 4 places ahead of Braden Eves. That's the guy he's chasing in the points.
Yep.
Certainly he wants to get by. He'd like second. And there's no doubt that Matt Round-Garrido's holding everybody up. He did a 123 about a lap ago, laying down a 122.5 this time, a little bit quicker. But McElroy's got to be smart. You don't throw away that kind of an increase on points. He's really cutting down the gap between himself and Braden Eves, and that's all he needs to do any race. Finish in front of Braden Eves, and you're going to be in good shape.
And Braden Eves is feeling that pressure because he's putting pressure on his teammate, Jack Crawford. Obviously, he doesn't want to take his teammate out, but he's pulled away just a little bit from Darren Keene. So Braden Eves trying to mount a challenge. He needs to pick up every place he can to preserve as much lead as he can into the second race
He's
of the
got
weekend.
more pressure than Hunter McElroy does.
He sure does.
You know, Hunter McElroy can hold on, but Keene pushing from behind, and Crawford trying to hold in front. Braden Eves doing everything he can right now to see if he can't make his way into that 7th position. Again, through the 5, 6, 7 corner in front of Tom.
Yep, right now, equidistant second or third to fourth. Then a gap back to Bruno Tomaselli there in 5th. No one making any kind of a charge yet. We're into the second half of this race. So folks got to start thinking about what they're going to do to move up.
Yeah, Braden Eves starting to show a nose to Jack Crawford there as they come down into Thunder Valley. He's getting a little bit impatient trying to get that done as we are working race lap 11 as we're getting close to half distance here.
11 laps down, as you said, working your way to the end of this one, into the second half. Christian Rasmussen, impressive up front, as we said, 4.3 seconds now. This is not something we've seen since Road America. We didn't have any real dominant wins like this. It was more hardcore racing on the streets of Toronto. McElroy was the driver able to pull away in his race win when we were at Road America, but a 4.3 second advantage for Christian Rasmussen. You don't even see him in the screen as the next crew goes by. Matt Round-Garrido in the BN Racing number 27. McElroy in that Soul Red Mazda number 22. Again, McElroy earning the $200,000 scholarship to Shootout. He'll have a look to the inside down in turn number 4. He's going to start getting more aggressive. They'll work the way by Brian back to Tom, and we got an aggressive run here now. McElroy starting to get pushy to go to P2.
McElroy looked to the inside, wasn't quite close enough to get that done, but he has got the speed.
Leader already by us here in turn number 9. Again, no one challenging at this point. Round-Garrido, McElroy, Kaminski, Tomaselli. That gets you through the top 5 with Rasmussen on the point.
And it just doesn't look like Braden Eves was challenging his teammate Jack Crawford. Darren Keene resurgent now. He's closed right back up on the back of Braden Eves. So the 3 Cape cars about equally spaced. Manuel Suleiman right there to pounce if they start coming together.
Yeah, John, that's exactly where I was going. I could see that Darren Keene starting to get up on the gearbox of his teammate Braden Eves. Remember, Keene, like McElroy in a championship battle, he comes in P3. He's quite a ways behind Braden Eves, but you can't lose any more ground. You got to get back by, so look for Keene to get aggressive here pretty soon. 8 laps still remaining. It's a 20-lap distance here for the drivers in USF 2000. We'll go right in to Indy Pro 2000 after this. You're getting a full look and today at wheel-to-wheel competition of this Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. And we'll have to remind everyone as well, this battle for second, this could be a championship battle. You're thinking about McElroy trying to close back up. McElroy on the outside. Matt Round-Garrido, though, Brian, really blocking that inside line.
Yeah, he's really blocking at this point. I hate to call it that, but it's exactly what he's doing. McElroy tried to go the high side, hard to get done, and that is really bunching up the field.
Yeah, we'll watch them as they come through turn 8. Leader, long gone. And again, equidistance between the first 5, just a slight gap then back to the number 6 position. Round-Garrido continuing on in second place, but I think he's going to be challenged here once more in the next couple of laps.
We'll take the time to clarify that, though, because it wasn't really a block. It was a defensive move. A block, Cameron, as you know, you've sat in a driver's meeting when they told you straight up, you can make that one move. It's that second move you're not allowed to make.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So in this category, you're allowed to make one defensive move, and from there, you're not allowed to move again. You can the only other move then you can make is rejoining back to the racing line if you're not impeding any other driver. So if there's a driver on the racing line on the outside, or right behind you, you can't be making a second move. So what he did then was completely illegal from what I could see from my point of view. He made his defensive move and he held that position.
That is it right there from the expert, the driver who has been behind the wheel, Cameron Shields for Newman Walks Racing, a young driver from Australia who has won this year already at Lucas Oil Raceway. Had to sit out here this particular weekend for budget restrictions, trying to find some more sponsorships, some more partners to be able to go racing at Portland and Laguna Seca the last 2 race weekends of the year. But man, we got ourselves a great battle right in front of you, coming through turn number 5, back down the hill through turn number 6. And again, all that experience from the racing he's done in the UK and F1600 competition, some of the best wheel-to-wheel racing you'll find on the globe is found in F1600 racing across the country, but amazing racing in the UK and Ireland. I get a chance to watch a lot of that racing, and Matt Round-Garrido, that's what he's drawing on right now, knowing that he's got to make that car extra wide. He's driving different lines. Sometimes he's down the inside, sometimes he's down the outside. He's making Hunter McElroy work for it, John, and that's what has to happen here.
Yeah, McElroy on that last run down the straightaway for the first time tried to get to the inside of Matt Round-Garrido, just wasn't able to get the job done, as Round-Garrido doesn't give him any room. He'd have to go on the grass in order to get any further to the inside.
We're obviously watching the monitor here. Those of you who have tuned into the Road to Indy TV on your mobile app or your phone, we're thankful that you're with us, getting a great chance to watch this, the coverage here, the live video and audio coverage. I looked up quickly as they came by the start-finish line here, and you think about Matt Round-Garrido all the way back to Manuel Suleiman, that's second back to 10th, and for the most part, they're nose to tail. Yeah, maybe a length and a half, but nobody's quicker than any other driver. They're all just right there, evenly matched, and that's the spec program. The cars are so evenly matched, the drivers have to be the difference, and right now, the difference maker could be Hunter McElroy, Brian, as he continues to try to get by Matt Round-Garrido.
He keeps looking high and low, but just cannot get a nose in to get a position to make the move.
Leader already by us here in turn 9. We wait. There they are coming up through turn number 8. Indeed, there's very little in it in terms of different spacing between the cars there in that top 10. They make their way down through turn 11. Rasmussen just pulled away.
You know, Tom, we're always trying to give exposure to our drivers. It's a shame we can't give too much to Christian Rasmussen right now because the camera's never on the guy. He's so far out front, 5.7 seconds as your leader. We're, of course, focusing on this tremendous battle for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Then you got the Cape drivers in 7th, 8th, and 9th. Manuel Suleiman 10th. Good run for Zach Holden in 11th as well. Then it's quite a ways back to Jack William Miller, but there's still a good battle there. William Miller's getting chased down here by Reese Gold, but out front, he's probably already to Rusty, I think, the leader, Rasmussen.
He's halfway down the straightaway now, but we're watching that second place battle. That time again, a lockup by McElroy as he tried to dive underneath the car, just could not get it done as Garrido's able to hold him off, and now that's made that a 3-way battle. Brian, they're coming 3 wide at you.
Yeah, Kaminsky joins into this. Kaminsky and McElroy both get brake lock up right at the top of the straightaway. They are trying their best to get around Garrido, not able to get it done.
Yeah, we got battles like crazy, Tom.
Big patience.
Tom, check out those battles in front of you right now. Cape Motorsports as well. That is 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Oh yeah, here we come once again. Top 6 go by us. All that Cape Motorsports. Each one has about a car length and a half between the positions there. And we're moving late in this race. We're working lap number 16, almost to 17.
Interesting, the call coming in that potentially the 27 doing some blocking out there, hearing some chatter on the radio. Not real happy with potentially Matt Round-Garrido, but he's doing everything he can, making that car absolutely as wide as possible. 4 laps to go. Let's go back to Cameron Shields. If you're driving as you were when you were leading the race at Lucas Oil Raceway, it's 4 laps to go. The only thing you don't want is a yellow flag. Christian Rasmussen, 7.6 seconds. What were your thoughts when you were leading at Lucas Oil Raceway? Those laps starting to, tick away.
It was a almost identical scenario. We built a very comfortable lead, and all of a sudden I see the yellow flags coming out. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna have our work cut out again, and managed to have a clean restart. And pulled another gap. I'm like, okay, this is going to be really good. And then again, another yellow flag came out, so it was very tough.
Making it exciting further back, Yuvan Sundaramurthy trying to get to the inside of Colin Kaminsky, or rather Bruno Tomaselli. That was the battle for 5th and 6th. But they were essentially, John, you were looking at it, they were kind of spread out 3 wide. Again, battling up through turn number 7 over to turn number 8. Such a battle here right now. Drivers settling in. Watching a driver potentially moving up and down. Tomaselli Has she moved up a spot?
Kaminsky got around McElroy, I think.
Interesting. Let's see when they come back up the hill here. Watch them coming out of Thunder Valley through this very tough carousel. And again, trouble here for potentially McElroy. No, McElroy's in the second spot. McElroy second, the 23 at Kaminsky. Where did Matt Round-Garrido
who got past? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Matt Round-Garrido, the number 27, potentially missing a shift, falling down into the fourth position. So put McElroy back to second. I would not be surprised to see them jet away quickly because they were getting held up, John, by Matt Round-Garrido. He's in fourth now. Tomaselli going to work. Tomaselli actually battling with her teammate, Yuvan Sundaramurthy. That may allow Crawford, Eves, and Keene, the Cape Motorsports drivers, to get back in the fight.
Exactly right. The race lead is too far gone with only 3 laps to go. Unless Christian Rasmussen has a problem, there's no way they're going to catch him. But the battles for the final steps on the podium are not yet settled, as we can see Sundaramurthy going side by side with Tomaselli.
So same thing there. Grab that, Brian. Cape Motorsports drivers side by side.
Yeah, still side by side as they make their way down into turn number 6, that 8 car. Eves, the points leader, trying to get that pass done, can't get it done as they make their way out of the S's.
Yeah, no change as they come here. The Skate Motorsports cars closer than they were the last time as they run up here and continue to run through Thunder Valley.
So that's Braden Eves trying to go after Jack Crawford. This is the first weekend for Jack Crawford with Cape Motorsports. He spent the early part of the season with D-Force, so he's come in here as a rookie on the team. He's getting pressure by the point leader right now. I'm going to tell you, there's not going to be really any team orders, but Braden Eves is going to be very aggressive trying to get by the number 4 of Jack Crawford. And right there as well, Darren Keene, the absolute best view of it. He's right behind both of his teammates going at it. That'll be another interesting room to go into to listen to the data at the end of the day.
Crawford's feeling the pressure. I saw him lock up coming into the braking zone for the carousel turn, so he knows the points leader is right there behind him.
Yeah, less than a car length now as they came through the middle of the keyhole turn. That's definitely the battle on the track right now as we watch them down the straightaway. No other battles in front of that, but there they are, less than a car length now. Braden Eves looking for a way around. Crawford driving defensively, Brian.
Yeah, Eves looking for a way around. All Cape Motorsports cars now trying to make a position change at the end of the straightaway, and I don't think any of them got done. The look is like, no changes at all, but all big moves made there at the end of the back straightaway.
Yeah, 2 laps to go, and not surprising, guys. As I said, Hunter McElroy's pulled out consistently over top of Colin Kaminsky. He's got a hold of second spot, and he'll be happy with that. Currently 6 positions better than Braden Eves. He's coming off a tough one where he got together with Kaminsky in the final laps in Toronto, ended up puncturing a tire. Get that changed, came back to an 11th place finish. This could be an 8th place run here for Braden Eves. Not the weekend he needed. And again, guys, a local driver, John. White flag flying again, Eves from nearby Gahanna here in Ohio. And I'll tell you, out front, Christian Rasmussen, we have not talked near enough about this Danish driver for Jay Howard as he works his way out of the keyhole already. That's how much of a gap, those of you watching. This is second place. The leader is absolutely long gone. Rasmussen putting down just tremendous lap times. He has not let off the throttle at all. And again, watching this battle, guys, as they work their way down to you, you'll see if we have a last lap fight, whether it's for 3rd, whether it's for 4th, whether it's for 7th.
Second place pretty much solid, so 4th and 5th pretty much solid. The final 2 teammates, and here comes the Cape battle for the final time. Into your view, Brian Culbertson.
And everybody evenly spaced this time by nobody making any big brave moves on the last lap. Everybody seems to be content where they're at. I'm surprised nobody dipped to the inside to lock up brakes and try to make a move. Coming at you now, Tom Michaels. I don't think we'll see any changes.
No, I don't think we will either. Our leader is long gone. Christian Rasmussen, just a couple of more turns to go.
Indeed, coming out of the carousel right now, Christian Rasmussen for Jay Howard driver development. Ladies and gentlemen, call it back-to-back jacks for the Dane. He wins in Toronto, and he wins here at Mid-Ohio. Second win of the season for Christian Rasmussen for Jay Howard driver development. A strong run for Hunter McElroy and the Mazda Soul Red machine. He'll take second. He'll claw some points back in the championship. Colin Kaminsky on the podium in 3rd. Matt Round-Garrido 4th. Bruno Tomaselli in 5th. Yuvan Sundaramurthy in 6th spot. So again, all 4 PAPS drivers in the top 6. Jack Crawford, the best of the Cape Motorsports crew, he ends up in 7th. Braden Eves in 8th, your point leader. His gap will shrink after race 1 here at Mid-Ohio. Darren Keene ends up in the 9th spot. Zach Holden in 10th. Manuel Suleiman 11th. Reese Gold in 12th. Jack Miller 13th. Eduardo Barrichello 14th. Christian Bogle 15th. Nolan Siegel in 16th spot. And Timmy Paglioso rounding out the 17 drivers. John, we didn't talk a lot about Christian Rasmussen, but good on him, a 9.5 seconds.
Yeah,
did. We didn't have to. 9.5 seconds. If you're the leader, you don't have to talk about me. I'll take a race win for
Christian
sure.
Rasmussen, of course, competed in Danish F4 before he came over to these shores with Jay Howard to compete in the F4 series, and he drove for none other than Jan Magnussen's team over in his home of Denmark. So Christian Rasmussen has had lots of experience, and like I say, from my experience, a very streaky driver, and right now he is on a roll and looking really, really good.
Take streak and call it momentum right now for Rasmussen. He is the winner here by 9.5 seconds. Hunter McElroy in second in the 22. Colin Kaminsky third, as I said, in the number 23 machine. Matt Round-Garrido round second for a time, but I just don't think he was going to be able to hold them off. They were all over him. Round-Garrido for BN Racing in the number 27 ends up in fourth. Bruno Tomaselli in fifth. Yuvan Sundaramurthy in the sixth spot. Jack Crawford, Braden Eves, and Darren Keene, the Cape Motorsports drivers, uncharacteristically 7th, 8th, and 9th. I would not be surprised to see them turn things around a little bit in race number 2 tomorrow. And, of course, Zach Holden for Legacy Autosport, a solid 10th place finish. Cameron Shields, what are your thoughts on Christian Rasmussen running up front? You've raced with him. Pretty good run.
Yeah, that's a perfect result for him, of course. And like we spoke about early this morning, weighing up the options between full attack and maybe not. So at Christian's point right now in the championship, he's got everything to fight for. He's got a reasonable gap to the championship lead. So for him to make that move, it was absolutely no-brainer. On the other hand, for Hunter, he's still well and truly in that championship chase. So for him, that's exactly what I would have done as well.
We're going to go back-to-back Road to Indy races for you here. The USF 2000 cars, John will come in. We'll bring the Indy Pro 2000 cars out. Jeremy Shaw is going to handle Victory Lane here today as well. But kudos, again, to Christian Rasmussen. Back-to-back jacks, wins in Toronto, and a win here as well at Mid-Ohio. A lot of momentum. This could change the storyline for tomorrow as well.
Absolutely. And I want to give a shout-out to Zach Holden. He chased at the tail end of that lead draft all race long, and on the last couple of laps got around Manuel Suleiman to take a top 10s finish. Good for him. Never give up, you know.
Excellent job, as you said. Only the second weekend for Zach Holden since joining Legacy Autosport. Good for him to get a solid result in a top 10. But again, Christian Rasmussen, Hunter McElroy, and Colin Kaminsky, the podium today here in USF 2000.
Well, it was pretty simple actually. I mean, I got past McElroy in the first corner, and from there on, I just took off. We had one safety car period pretty early in the race, and after that, I just took off. To be honest, I mean, it was a great race. The car was great. Can't thank you the Jay Howard boys enough for their hard work. I mean, we have really turned around our season, and that's great. So I'm looking forward to more.